one who's to say, oh, I'm the faster, I'm the favorite, oh, I'm the left out, run away. It's the wrong way to think today. What a chance you did take today. It's the madness your drive creates. What a chance you did waste today.
From a weeks-long vacation to the land of 10,000 lakes, the Right Lane Cup Series arrives here in Michigan International Speedway, where our 43 drivers will take on 60 laps here today around this 2-mile high-banked, high-action super speedway. Well, super speedway might be an over-exaggeration, but after last year's exciting race, I'm sure the 2 or 3 wide we'll see early on, and perhaps later in the race will return. A lot of technical and manufacturer support is here today to watch this race, and they're going to see a great race, no doubt. But let's go ahead and go and get you your starting lineup. Peter Onjak put his Onjado Dodge on pole with Vince Freeze in the Fitzwater Australia racing forward to his outside. Then it's James Ellison and Stephen Colon in row 2. His teammate Ryan Griffin and Alexander Phoenix are in row 3. Griffin, a hometown driver here. Taylor Frey and Jeffrey Finguy and other Michiganders in row 8, with Nick Breeding and Nathan Smith rounding out your top 10. Then it's Derek Hamill and Jesse Turner, Lane Sanders and Alexander Rowe, DJ Curtis and Henry Thomas, Logan Cloud, Julio Caesar, Charles Sanford, and Griffin Lapel McDermott round out your top 20. It's Christian Vargas, Zachary Fitzwater, Luke Evans, the pole sitter with the points leader with Cody Lamas, Luke Martin, Samuel England, Wyatt Junkman, Carson Green, Andrew Gutierrez, and Ben McDonald rounding out your top 30 with RJ Bishop, Andrew Thomas, Nick Gunther, Tim Fiegel, Will Parrish, Zachary Ponce, Ryan Acosta, Daniel Voles, Alexander Patel, and Angela Del Vecchio rounding out your top 40. It's Ryan Reed, Devin Fair, and Joseph Striegel who round out the field. So that's your starting lineup. We'll go trackside, get the command to start the engines, and get this race here at Michigan underway.
Please welcome the star of the greatest NASCAR movie of all time, where he played legendary driver Rowdy Burns in Days of Thunder, actor Michael Rooker.
Drivers, start your engines!
This has been quite the surprise with Peter Onjak sitting on pole. The Onjado Dodge has been fast this year. His teammate just made the race on Go or Go Home. Hopefully they will be able to get a good run in today. Of course, Vince Freeze desperately looking to get himself back into the championship fight. He's going to have to start now and make many good runs in order to do that. James Ellison trying to get a good run in, as is Stephen Colon. Looking back through here, a couple of Michiganders. We have Ryan Griffin and then Jeffrey Finguy. These two would like to win at their home racetrack. We'll see if they're going to be able to. Coming out of turn number 4, the pace car is going to come down pit lane. Peter Onjak and Vince Freeze in a pair of red cars are going to lead us down here to Michigan. The second half of the Right Lane Cup Series. Season 3 is underway. Peter Onjak and Vince Freeze are going to lead us to the green flag. We're racing here at Michigan. Heading off in the turn 1, 2, 3 wide, going down into the corner. Coming out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. It is a mess coming onto the back straightaway. Looking at the whole fleet scramble down here in the turn number 3. Peter Onjak trying to hold off James Ellison. Man, you saw Aiden Smith got a little squirrely back there. Onjak's stuck in the middle. Ellison's going to get around the outside, but here comes Nick Breeding with Derek Hamill on the inside. Ellison might be able to lead this lap. He will. He'll get that bonus point, but here comes Nick Breeding on the inside with Derek Hamill and Lane Sanders in tow. Hamill to the inside of Nick Breeding going into turn 1. He's got Lane Sanders and DJ Curtis behind him. Sanders is going to get up behind Breeding on the back straightaway. That's going to open up the door for Curtis. Hamill on his lonesome on the inside. Here comes Charles Sanford trying to get under Curtis. Onjak, the pole sitter, has fallen out of the top 5. 4 wide through 3 and 4. Some contact there between Sanford and Alexander Phoenix. Crazy, crazy racing here as Hamill will lead lap number 2. Look at this mess going back into turn number 1. Looking like Daytona here. Wow, look at this. 3 wide, probably 10 or so rows deep. Looking back through the field, many of these guys, I would not be surprised if we get an accident here before long, as everybody is able to race very cleanly for running 3 wide at this place. You saw Vince Freeze try to put James Ellison 4 wide. This bottom line seems to be the way to go. There seems to be a conveyor belt going on here. But up front, Alexander Phoenix has run down Nick Breeding and Derek Hamill. Lane Sanders back to 4th. Christian Vargas is up here to 5th with Fitzwater and Luke Evans. Then there's Taylor Frey with Cody Lamas. There's Tim Fiegel, the rookie, a pair of rookies fighting for a top 10 spot. Ben McDonald, another championship contender. He is setting sail after that 99 car of Luke Evans. He's got a long ways to go as he's now about up into the top 10. There he is. He's got about 5 spots and about half a second to make up on the number 39. Up front, though, Breeding got kicked to the outside by Phoenix. He's now going to have to go after Derek Hamill. Breeding is now back to 4th, maybe 5th. Here comes Vargas to the inside. That Sony Chevrolet is moving forward, trying to get himself some spots. Here's Zachary Fitzwater moving up. Breeding has fallen back to the 6th spot. From 2nd to 6th in 1 lap. Meanwhile, up front, here comes Alexander Phoenix trying to make a pass on Derek Hamill, and he's going to make it onto the back straightaway. No, he's not. The 98 is going to power back on the outside line. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Lane Sanders. All this is going to do is open up the door for Lane Sanders. The most previous winner in the Right Lane Cup Series, he won at Canadian Tire. Try to go back-to-back. He would be the first multi-race winner in the right this season if he was able to do it, as would Derek Hamill. Right now we've gone 10 races with a unique winner. It's the longest record in the Right Lane Cup Series. We could extend that to 11 this year. Alexander Phoenix, though, has gotten away with Sanders fighting Hamill. Now Fitzwater tried to make a move on Hamill. He's going to get kicked to the outside line. That's going to bring Nick Breeding up to him. Trying to rebound, but look at this. The 99 of Luke Evans has fallen out of the top 10. Ben McDonald has scooted away. Jeffrey Finguy, we saw him in the 30s earlier this run. Now he's up into 12th. He's passing a teammate. He's going to try to pass Wyatt Junkman in the 35. He was the second highest running rookie after Tim Fiegel in the 43. There's Luke Evans down the 13th. He's falling behind Shrigley and Will Parrish. There's Nick Gunther, his teammate RJ Bishop, 16th and 17th. There's still a wad of cars back here trying to get around Carson Green. That is Charles Sanford in the 19 with Ryan Griffin, another hometown driver, and Alex Sanfatale, the rookie. There's a pair of teammates on the outside, Luke Martin, Cody Lamas. Look at this mess. This is about for the 23rd to about the 33rd position. This whole group of cars gaggled together. You see going down into 3. Griffin trying to shut the door on Curtis and get around the DirecTV Honda of Alex Sanfatale. Now they've seemed to single file out a little bit as Martin is still stuck on the outside with Andrew Thomas and Angel Gutierrez to his inside. It's a pair of LFM Dodges behind him, the 57 of Ryan Reed and the 75 of Julio Cesar. There's Vince Freeze, your outside pole sitter, falling back to 34th position. They're hoping for a good run. They're going to have a lot of work to do if they're going to get back up here. Somebody caught the wall there. That might have been Samuel England into the 24. His teammate Aiden Smith is to his inside. There's Elson, Acosta, and Peter Onjack, the pole sitter. They are now in the top 3 that started this race are now all the way. The top 4 that started this race are all the way in the back. There's Cologne. We saw Fritz Freeze, James Ellison, and Peter Onjack. That is such a wild inversion of the field. Now looking up at the field, we had another pass for the lead. It's Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater going to be leading a lap here at Michigan, but he's got a whole gaggle of cars behind him. It's Phoenix, Breeding, Hamill, Taylor Frey is up here. There's Tim Fiegel and Jeffrey Finguy. He has made the most passes in this race. Now he's up here in the 7th position. He's going to go after Tim Fiegel, the rookie, a fellow Ford, for 6th spot. Fiegel's going to go after Taylor Frey instead. He might take him inside. He might take the 98 inside. Here he comes. He's going to get around Frey. This is going to be an impressive run for Tim Fiegel. Fiegel, his teammates Logan Cloud and Jesse Turner have won races in the Right Lane Cup Series. Tim Fiegel, replacing Luke Evans in this car, has had several impressive runs this season. He's running fairly well in points. That 43 team doing an amazing job compared to how they were last year. Running up here in the top 5 for briefly. Now he'll go back into the 7th spot with Finguy and Frey. Man, Frey tried to block Finguy, but here comes Jeffrey Finguy to the bottom of the racetrack. Up front, though, Phoenix almost got up around Zachary Fitzwater. He's going to lie behind him with Breeding and Derek Hamill waiting in the wings. Finguy is now in the top 5. Lane Sanders took advantage of that. Drafted up to Fiegel and Frey. Passed them both. That's going to let Finguy's teammate Griffin Lapel McDermott, the Season 2 champion, he's going to take him 3 wide. Sanders tries to block. He's going to give a door, or he's going to give a nose to GLM. Let's see what he's able to do with it. Coming down, looking at all these cars. You saw it there in the wide shot. Phoenix now attacking the 59 again. Let's see if he's able to do something going into turn number 3. If not, he's going to have to do it into turn 1. The top 4 separated by half a second. This has been an amazing and competitive race here at Richmond. Or not Richmond, Michigan, excuse me. Of course, last year we had also had a great competitive race. It was marred by a wild crash about halfway through. Injured Major Robinson, who was driving in the 4th Breeding Enterprises car. Robinson now in the Truck Series, competing full-time. We have been very clean so far, and I figured, seeing how the race started, I thought we would have a wreck similar to what happened last year in the big one. But so far, everybody has been racing cleanly. Maybe a little bit of respect, remembering last year and how bad that was. But right now, they're all chasing that guy here. Look at Nick Breeding to the inside. He's going to go after Alexander Phoenix. I think he's going to get him into turn 1. He's going to try to get back up here and get a bonus point. Breeding needs these bonus points as much as Phoenix and Hamill do. The Breeding Enterprises trio of Breeding, Sandford, and Ben McDonald right now. They had a point where all 3 were top 10 in points. I believe they then went to the next week when we went to Canadian Tire, and they all did not have good days, and they fell out of the top 10 in points. Sandford was involved in a late race accident. They're all going to try to rebound. Speaking of rebounding, there's Alexander Phoenix to the inside of Derek Hamill, and look who has joined the party. Jeffrey Finguy, who's got the fastest car on the racetrack, that Mayer Ford. Finguy, remember last year, Jeffrey Finguy dueled. He had a barn burner last year with Henry Thomas. Thomas ended up punting Finguy out of the way with less than 3 laps to go. Finguy was not very pleased after that race. He said he knew how he was going to get raced. He was going to race in kind. And Finguy has been winless so far this year. He's had some good runs. And he's had some bad luck. But he's been steadily climbing the point standings. I believe he's coming into this week. He's in the top 10 in points. A good race here could put him definitely into the championship conversation. And Finguy Saitomi Motorsports could have a back-to-back champion this year. I genuinely think Jeffrey Finguy will be a contender once again. But we'll have to wait and see. Phoenix, though, Alexander Phoenix, another driver I would consider a championship contender. Not a favorite, but a contender. He's running in third. A good day like this, a good day for a lot of these drivers that we would expect up front. The Fitzwaters, the Breedings, the Phoenixes, the Finn guys, the Hamels, the GLMs. We would expect to see such a race like this, where it's very top heavy for the contenders to run up front. And they need days like this. You see, Finn guy is after the 62, but looking back, I saw a big gaggle of race cars. Look at this mess going into turn number 1. That is your points leader, Luke Evans. He is in a wad of cars. That is something that you do not want to have happen, especially if we were to get an accident. But Evans right now running 14th. Ben McDonald's right ahead of him in 13th. Now they're side by side. This has been the championship battle for the last few races. Luke Evans and Ben McDonald. These two have been dueling for the points lead. They've swapped it back and forth a couple of times this season. And you see Ben McDonald getting passed by Evans, by Joseph Shrigley, looks like. And you're going to see these two, because they are really on an island of their own. They're separated by about 15 points usually, and the rest of the field is about 50 back. So it's going to take both of these guys, very consistent drivers. Wow, you saw Ben McDonald got to the back bumper of this 99. But it's going to take something, both of these guys having a bad day on the same weekend, really, for anybody else to really make a jab at him. But these two have fallen back to 15th and 16th. And up front, I do believe we've had a pass for the lead. Wow, look at this mess. The top 5 under a blanket. Phoenix trying to take him 3 wide. He looks like Hamill might give him the room. Finn guy pushing Breeding. 3 wide for second going into turn 1. Finn guy trying to take the middle line. Breeding up in the marbles. That's going to put Phoenix. Phoenix is going to go from 5th to 2nd in a lap, but this is all behind Zachary Fitzwater. This has been an amazing race so far. This has been the Right Lane Cup Series, Season 3, Race 11 here at Michigan Raceway. Zachary Fitzwater is your leader over Alexander Phoenix, Jeffrey Finn guy, Nick Breeding, and Derek Hamill. We'll be right back right after this.
Okay, now, what do you do next?
Floor it?
Yes. No, no, don't floor it.
Floor it?
No, 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 don't floor it.
Okay, floor it.
During a 500-mile race, the Texaco Haviland race team will change the tires, replace the fuel, and adjust the suspension. But there's one thing engineered to go the distance: the oil. Haviland, race-proven protection.
You spend the day going in circles, and you earn the right to do one more. That's fuel for the soul.
All right, Pinhead, your time is up.
Who you calling Pinhead?
You okay, Patrick?
Finland!
Welcome back to the Right Lane Cup Series Season 3, race number 11 here at the Michigan International Raceway. Zachary Fitzwater is your race leader, but not for long. Here comes Jeffrey Finn guy. He has been on a charge since the start of this race. He is the biggest mover, and he is after that 59. Here he goes to the inside. Just one lap shy of halfway. Here comes Jeffrey Finn guy. He's going to take the race lead. He's going to bring Alexander Phoenix with him. Jeffrey Finn guy, the hometown hero, into the lead. Phoenix going to try to take his inside line, though. Breeding and Hamill are there. This top 5 has not left each other's sight at all throughout this entire stint. Here he comes around turn 4, and Jeffrey Finn guy is going to get a bonus point and lead this lap, and he is going to try to set sail, but he's got a hungry group of cars behind him. Nick Breeding gets away. He's going to get in the second spot. He's going to try to draft behind the 92. Hamill and Phoenix side by side. Hamill might let him go. Zachary Fitzwater crosses over Hamill to the inside line. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater. He's going to try to take the 4th spot, so let's go ahead and check through the field. There's Griffin Lapel McDermott in 6th. There is Christian Vargas in 7th. Wyatt Junkman, the rookie, is in 8th. Then it's Tim Fiegel and Alexander Phoenix with Lane Sanders. That rounds out your top 10. There's Nick Gunther in 12th with Joseph Shrigley and Taylor Frey. There's Will Parrish. Vince Freeze has had a great recovery. He's back into the top 15. There's Ben McDonald. There's RJ Bishop, Luke Evans, and Carson Green will round out your top 20. There's Luke Martin. He's up to 21st. There's Devin Fair in 22nd. Jesse Turner, 23rd with Charles Sanford. Alex Sanfatale in 25th. That's James Ellison in 26th. Julio Caesar, 27th. DJ Curtis, 28th. Sam England, 29th. There's Ryan Reed in 30th. Stephen Colon, 31st. Cody Lamas, 32nd. Henry Thomas in 33rd. Aiden Smith in 34th. Peter Onjak, the pole sitter's back in 35th. Ryan Acosta's 36th. There's Logan Cloud in 37th. Andrew Thomas is 38th. Zachary Ponce is 39th. Andrew Gutierrez with Daniel Voles, Zachary Ponce, and Ryan Griffin back here running in the 42nd position. Ryan Griffin has just not had a good day. And then rounding out the field is Angela Devascio running in the 43rd position. There's Jeffrey Finguy coming around. He's been able to gap Nick Breeding a little bit, about half a second, but the top 5 are within a second of each other. This has been an incredible race so far here at Michigan. I'm sure the fans are getting their money's worth. But a very clean race so far as well. I want to give a shout out to a few drivers in the top 10. There's some affiliate teammates here. Alexander Rowe, as well as Wyatt Junkman in the 35. These guys have needed good runs, and they're finally going to get them, it looks like. Alexander Rowe, last year's Daytona 500 winner, has not had a good season, but we've heard reports that he will resign, that he will re-sign and drive that 10 car again next season. Wyatt Junkman, though, there have been rumors surrounding that 35 team. There's been a big rumor in the garage surrounding Henry Thomas, that car's partial team owner, and about that 35 car and what it will have to do. But right now, Junkman trying to improve his resume. Lane Sanders, as we mentioned, last week's winner, running up here in the top 10. He's got a teammate, Christian Vargas, who is the highest running Spa car in points. Of course, Vince Freeze, another driver. There he is, running in 11th spot. Freeze desperately trying to put another top 10 run together, trying to get forward. This is the lowest Vince Freeze has been in points in his entire career. Currently sitting 22nd in points. We asked him about this during the off week, and he was asked about this during the off week, and he said, This is a historic low for us, but I don't see it lasting very long. We're coming up to a lot of good racetracks for me, and I think we'll be able to bounce back. And he is bouncing back in a big way. Look at this mess going to turn 1. He is up into the 8th spot. Now he's up to 7th. He went from probably outside the top 10 into 7th in a couple of laps. That is an impressive run for Vince Freeze. This is shades of the old Vince Freeze that we knew. The one that won the Season 1 championship. The race winner. Very, very good run by Vince Freeze. Looking up here, though, Breeding has run down Jeffrey Finguy. You see it here. You see Breeding trying to make a move on Finguy. We also have to be wary. We're expecting pit stops here before long. And I would expect to see the leaders, if the leaders don't all pit together, I would be absolutely shocked. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater, that 59 car to the inside. Fitzwater side by side. This is only allowing Jeffrey Finguy to get away. You see it there. Finguy's going to put half a second. There's the pit stops. Coming to lap 40. They should all make it to the end. It's Fitzwater, Phoenix, and Derek Hamill. Got a whole wad of cars behind him, though. We saw it there. There's Wyatt Junkman, Tim Fiegel, Lane Sanders, Nick Gunther are down. They're all going to try to undercut. But I think this undercut is going to be lead to a very crowded pit road as much of the latter half of the field is pitted. If anybody's going to try to make up time, they're going to have to be very, very far ahead in this pit cycle. Here's Jeffrey Finguy with Breeding. They're going to be on a very crowded pit road. If I were Vince Freeze or GLM, I'd stay out another lap. No, the two champions in the series are going to come down. Shrigley's coming down. There's Devin Fair with Luke Martin, Ben McDonald. Elliston stayed out. There's Stephen Colon. Henry Thomas is the last car on track. Fitzwater is out first with Phoenix and Hamill. There's Junkman with Sanders, Fiegel, Alexander Rowe, Gunther Vargas. There is Luke Evans, your points leader. Alex Sanfatale has damage to the side of that race car. We'll have to check that out. Henry Thomas, I do believe, stayed out. No, he pitted first. Yes, Henry Thomas actually undercutted the field before everybody else. He came onto a very empty pit road. This might actually work out for him. He's up to speed. He's going to pass Frey. Let's see where this puts him. 28th. That puts him 28th right now. That was actually a very smart move by Henry Thomas. I think he actually had the undercut, and who we saw pitted with everybody else. Looking back through here, this top 10. Oh, Zachary Ponce stalled on the racetrack. That might bring a caution out. It might not. Now looking up here, there's Jeffrey Finguy. Finguy has now put a second between himself and Breeding. Breeding's got a long way to go. He's cut a 1/10 of a second off. He's got himself and Fitzwater to work with. If they're able to draft ahead, they might be able to run down Finguy and take the lead. Finguy coming around. He's now led the most laps today. That'll put Finguy. Let's see where he's losing more time with Breeding and Fitzwater drafting together. He's losing more time. Breeding missed the corner that time. That's going to let Fitzwater, but Fitzwater's going to stay behind him. These two have been running fast. They're running 2/10 of a lap faster, but this is going to slow them down a lot. Coming around, let's see how they're doing. I think they have the 92's draft this time. They do. Another 1/10 of a second lost. Now the top 5 are all together again, just like how it was before the pit cycle. I do believe that they will be catching Jeffrey Finguy. Finguy's got to be a little worried. So, but now you see this. There goes Zachary Fitzwater. He's got Phoenix with him. Look at Fitzwater to the inside of Breeding. Look at Fitzwater. He's up to second. He's going to try to run down Breeding. They gain more time. They're gaining time every lap. The whole top 5 is back within a second of the leader. There's Junkman, Sanders looking in the latter half of the top 10. That's Nick Gunther trying to get a good run in with Freeze. Vince Freeze trying to get himself a top 10. Look at this. Fitzwater lost time that lap. Finn Guy. Remember last year. Finn Guy's probably thinking about last year as well. You remember last season when he got punted with 3 to go in the turn 1? Leading this race, he lost it to Henry Thomas. Henry Thomas is nowhere near, but I think he's traded him in for Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater's gained timing again. He's going to catch, I believe he will catch the 92. The top 5 still within a good distance of each other, but Phoenix is going to try to draft around Fitzwater. Look at this. Phoenix still going to try to get around Fitzwater. Every time they seem to get close to Finn Guy, they try to pass each other. Look at Nick Breeding to the inside. He's going to try to take him 3. They lost time. Phoenix and Fitzwater made contact. Breeding through to second. Look at Hamill. He's going to get up to 4th. Fitzwater back to 5th. Phoenix in the 3rd. That's going to be Breeding in the 2nd. They lost time to Finn Guy that time, but Breeding, oh man, they're in the same picture now as Finn Guy. Finn Guy's probably, he's going to have to start driving out of his rearview mirror more than he is his windshield. We're coming around to 10 laps to go here at Michigan. One last look about through the field. There's Junkman. Gunther's up to 7th. It's Rowe, then GLM, then Vince Freeze is your top 10. Lane Sanders dropping backwards behind Fiegel. And Evans, that is following his former ride with Shrigley. There's Alex Sanfatale with his damage running in the top 10. With Vargas, there's Ryan Reed, Ben McDonald. Carson Green has been able to move forward. There's RJ Bishop having a good run with Luke Martin, Devin Fair, and Will Parrish. Charles Sanford, then Stephen Colon, DJ Curtis. Henry Thomas and his undercut got him up to 27th. Passing Cody Lamas. There's Jesse Turner with Samuel England with Taylor Frey. That was Ryan Acosta, Logan Cloud, Zachary Ponce. They blew a tire and were able to get that 95 car back out on the racetrack. Andrew Thomas, there's Aiden Smith, Angel Gutierrez, Peter Onjak, Julio Caesar with Ellison, Angel DeVecchio, Ryan Griffin, 41st. That car is having mechanical problems, Griffin said, and he's not been able to move forward. And Daniel Voles, last car on the lead lap. Up front, Breeding has run down the leader. Let's see if he's going to be able to make a charge on Finn Guy. Things might, and Alexander Phoenix waiting in the wings. If anything could get physical between the front two, he'll be right there to pounce on it. Coming around. It's 8 laps to go here at Michigan. The whole top 5 is within half a second. Wow! Look at Phoenix lunge it into turn 3. He's going to try to get around Nick Breeding. It's going to stall out. Finn Guy, though, is going to get away with this. Breeding riding around the outside line. Back to second. Here's Derek Hamill in the third around Fitzwater. Nick Breeding trying everything to get up here. He'd be the first repeat winner this season. Phoenix could be a repeat winner. There's Derek Hamill. He could also be a repeat winner. But Finn Guy trying to get his first win of the season. his first at his home track. Be a very popular win with this crowd. Coming around, 6 laps to go. The top 5 within half a second. Breeding now getting attacked by Phoenix. These cars running double file. It's only going to help Jeffrey Finguy. Finguy getting away. Man, now he's got a good gap between himself and the field. Look at this. Coming around, I think that might have sewn the deal unless Phoenix can get back up here. Coming around, 5 laps to go. Phoenix is the first one to break away. Now it's just Finguy trying to put himself in position to win. Had the best car all day. Had to go back in traffic. Drove all the way through the field from 33rd position on lap number 3. He drove up from 33rd, and now he is coming for the race lead. He's trying to win. 4 to go, but Phoenix has got the draft of the 62. We'll see what he's able to do. Hamill up to 3rd. Fitzwater, the 4th, Breeding back to 5th. Look at Phoenix coming back, 3 to go. Phoenix is now chasing down the 92. Do you see it there? Phoenix has gained time on Finguy. He's now within the same picture. We could see another incredible finish here at Michigan, but Finguy doesn't want that because last time we had a great finish here, he ended up on the receiving end of it. Phoenix is there. He's within 3/10. Or he's coming around. It'll be 2 laps to go. Does Phoenix have anything left? He's got to get in the draft. Two to go. Phoenix gained time again. Alexander Phoenix is going to try at the 92. He's going to have to do it on the last lap, though. That's probably his best chance. Coming around, it's going to be the white flag. And it's going to be taken by Jeffrey Finguy. 1 lap to go here at Michigan. Can Finguy hold off Alexander Phoenix? White flag, 1 to go. We're on the last lap. Phoenix lost some time on that lap. He lost 300ths going into turn number 1. Phoenix running a little bit higher. That's going to give him a better run down the back straightaway. Final time down the back straight between Phoenix and Finguy. It'll only take a bobble from Finguy this time for Phoenix to get him. Through 3 and 4, Phoenix sent it in. Alexander Phoenix trying to catch him. He's going to get within a couple of car lengths, but it's not going to be enough. Jeffrey Finguy gets revenge from last year. He's going to win at his home track, and he'll be the 11th new winner. He'll be the 11th different winner this season. How about that for Jeffrey Finguy? Alexander Phoenix came up just 2/10. Derek Hamill, a 3rd. Breeding got back by Fitzwater. No, he didn't. Fitzwater got 4th. Breeding 5th. Luke Evans in 6th. White, Junkman, Griffin, Lapel, McDermott, Nick Gunther round out your top 10. And then Lane Sanders round out your top 10. All this going on behind that man there, Jeffrey Finguy. He'll pick up his 5th career Right Lane Cup Series win. And a big win for this organization. Congratulations to that whole team. And thank you all so much for watching this very exciting, very competitive race here at Michigan International Raceway. Jeffrey Finguy is your race leader. We're going to go ahead and get you your finishing results here in a moment.